Yeah, I haven't been the person where even my mental has been that attacked before, but in this period it has, like, where I'm like, you know, yeah, what's the point? Like what's the point of okay, I'll write this song and then I release it and people will say, oh, what a nice song, and move on. Like, I was questioning everything because of one or two occurrences.
That was one of my personal favorites. The name is You and the artist is Noel Nderitu, and I'm not going to say anything about him because he's here with us today. Hi.
Hi.
Karibu.
Asante. Asante for having me.
Karibu. Good to see you.
It's been a while. I feel like I've not seen people this year. So
yeah?
Every time I get a chance to see the gardens and outside of quarantine,
you're happy.
It's encouraging.
Yeah.
I know.
That's amazing. All right. So we know you as a musician, and sometimes when we know someone is a musician, that's all we ever know, but it's good you're here. So who is Noel Nderitu in terms of your educational background, your profession, and you know what you feel is your purpose in life? How would you describe that?
We started with deep questions. I love it. I love it.
That's how we roll right here.
No, but I'm outside of the stage, I'm a pretty simple person. At least I tend to believe that I'm a pretty simple person. Well, the last time someone asked me about my educational background, sadly, my parents, if they ever watch this, poleni sana, I didn't get to use the degree they so suffered for.
Now I'm curious.
But yeah, I studied marketing in uni, but I'm a full-time musician, so that's my profession as well. I have one wife, married. Simple guy outside of that, but music all the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're saying you didn't use it, because I feel like with music you have to market.
Yeah, I mean there are certain skill sets I am using.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're going to get me into another discussion about the education sector in Kenya, which is built on cramming.
Okay.
So half the time, we don't really use it. Like we passed, but applicability.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. So how did you get into music? How did you decide to do it, full time?
Yeah, I guess that was a slower process than I thought. In high school, I used to joke that I want to be a music producer, but...
Which high school did you attend?
I was at Aga Khan High School, Wayaki Way, if you know Jogonas. Okay, this is a Christian station, I'm sure they don't know Jogonas.
We hear of it.
No, but they have good nyamachoma, but there's a school there called Aga Khan High School. I was there for all 4 years, and I didn't do any sort of music. The music wasn't offered as a subject, so even when I finished high school, it wasn't something that I could say I want to pursue, because there was no background in it. And even bringing that up to my parents, they were like, but where is this coming from? Like, you haven't shown that interest before.
Oh. Yeah,
because I hadn't played any sort of music or music-related activities in high school. And then I guess the mistake was, teachers telling you that you should be A, B, C, D, doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect. And in high school, I was actually pretty strong in languages, in arts, in humanities. I wasn't strong in sciences, but yet I did all 3 sciences. So
your story is very much like mine.
Yeah, that's why I have educational wounds. I'm like, I wish someone just led me down the right way, maybe. But all in God's plan. I'm still doing what He intended for me to do. Yeah, but I bought a guitar soon after high school. Joined the church music team.
Which church?
At the time was Sitam Gong. My parents have been Sitam people when it was called NPC back in the day. So a lot of my formative years were in Sitam Gong, and then later moved to Bapo, Nairobi Baptist, and now Nairobi Chapels, where I still am. But yeah, that's when I kind of started playing the guitar, figuring out how to sing. And by the time I was finishing uni...
Which uni?
I went to JKUAT. So you have to do a 2-month mandatory internship to graduate. So when I was doing that is when I was like, do I really want to do this forever? But music kept tugging at my heart. So slowly but surely I found myself doing it full time. Yeah.
And it's how did your parents take it? I think that's always an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like any parent from that generation, I think they grow up knowing that music is for guys who just play in bars, and music will not pay any of your bills, and you'll be a hustler, always leeching off of them. But they were pretty supportive after, I think it took them seeing the community around me supporting me, and seeing that it's actually, you know, he actually does have some talent. You know, it's one thing if I don't know what I'm doing and I'm insisting on doing it. And then I think just showing them that I could be self-sustained, I could sustain myself without depending on them financially. So I think those two things sort of calmed their nerves kidogo, yeah.
So what would you do now if you could go back in time and guide younger you? Like you said, you wish someone could have guided you in the right path. What would you do for someone exactly in your shoes?
If they show an interest in something, I would see if it's a valid interest, that if they possess that skill set, I'd encourage them. If it was me, my younger me, I'd probably take music lessons before I started, before high school. I remember I had a chance earlier on, but I was more interested in sports in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which was your favorite sport?
I played basketball for the school team.
I also played basketball, and I've got a big scar on my, on my knee.
Yeah, but I played soccer as well. Yeah, and track, a bit of track. Yeah. But I'm not as athletic as I was then now.
Okay. So I like what you said, like start from the word go, you know. If you're a parent, if a parent is watching and their child has an artistic interest, probably take it seriously. Yeah. And, try to see how you can have them professionally trained. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
because either way, if you nurture your child's gifts, they could end up doing it full time, or it could just be a hobby that gives them joy. Either way, it works, that you were there and you lent a helping hand, and they saw for themselves that, hey, I don't want to do this full time, or I find extreme joy and I can do this full time. As long as you enabled it. But I don't think it's the parents' place to say, no, you shouldn't do this, unless it's deterrent to your health or to your peace of mind. Yeah, unless, okay, parents can say, yes, don't do drugs, but if your child wants to play soccer, I don't see why you should deny them that if every other part of their life is being fulfilled. Yeah, so.
I like that. I almost feel like pausing to think, like Selah, you know. But gotta go on with the interview. All right. You've got a very strong faith because it just shines through your music. How did you get born again?
Actually, I tell people, I used to be the guy who used to say on June 1st, whatever year it was. But I realized a couple of years ago that actually I didn't understand what the gospel was at all. Because I grew up in a Christian environment. We'd always go to church. And so for me, I felt that what I did and didn't do defined how saved I was and how much favor I received from God, rather than the finished work of Jesus, who has done it all, and that's why I'm free from my sin. So I was more concerned with, I don't do this, I don't smoke, I don't drink, and less concerned with the things of God. That's why I say the bell clicked literally a few years ago. Like, the understanding why I believe what I believe. I'd say a few years ago. Like. Okay,
so what happened? What were the circumstances surrounding the clicking of the bell?
Not really circumstances. I guess when you believe something and the foundation is not Christ, that foundation will crumble. If you read 1 Corinthians 3, Paul puts it well. He says the foundation is Christ, and you can build it on gold, on silver, on anything else, but on the day of judgment, the fire will reveal whether it was true or not. And I think that was that for me. When I continually sought God, he continued to show me what was a false foundation and what was not him. And I guess that's the bell. It was just reading my word, because we are a generation that's brought up by music, brought up by celebrity pastors and figures who, you know, say the word for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so if they interpret it badly and we take that as gospel truth, we've done ourselves a disservice when the word is freely available to us. So I guess the clicking point was just me taking time to study and not to rely on my parents' faith or the people I looked up to. You know, we are the generation who say, you know, my mom really prays for me, that's why I am where I am. But I also have access to God, like I can pray as well, you know.
Amazing.
And yeah, so.
Yeah, you know, like my grandmother's prayers have kept me.
Right.
You know.
And they probably had, God was probably merciful.
Yeah.
But you too can talk to God.
Too.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Is there an experience you can share with us of something you know you feel that was, we're just talking off camera and I was like, well, we acknowledge the mainstream miracles like gift of life and you know,
I'm alive.
Yeah, but is there something you can say for real, this moment was God?
Yeah, I think that's been me all through quarantine. I remember where I was when the first case was announced. I was doing a workshop for musicians, and we were supposed to have a performance later. And that month I remember thinking, hey, I have this booking, I have this concert here, you know, trying to arrange my budget, stuff like that. And within a week, everything had gone. Yeah. And the ensuing months were very similar. You wake up, you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills the next month. I have a wife who's also looking at me. We are both, you know, freelancers, and so we don't have a fixed sort of income. Yeah. And so we literally went back to, there are no guarantees, which is funny. As a freelancer, there are no guarantees either way. Yeah. But now when everything is shut down,
even as a business owner,
exactly.
You know, yeah.
But there's the hope that business is going on. But now when business shuts down everywhere, yeah, you're left with your thoughts. And I think my thoughts were I started to doubt a lot. I started to doubt whether I could even sustain my family. I started to doubt whether I should be making music. Should I change careers?
I had that moment too.
I still have those convos in my head. I'm like, ikitu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess for me it's the reassurance that God has and he still is making a way. Because even now I'm sitting here with that uncertainty. Like after this interview, I don't know like what sort of work I'm gonna do this month. But God has come through. Like I'm healthy, I have food, my family is safe. We haven't been ill. And that, like you said, is a mainstream miracle, but in
2020, 2021, it's a real supernatural miracle.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah, I haven't been the person where even my mental has been that attacked before, but in this period it has. Like where I'm like, what's the point? Like what's the point of okay, I'll write this song and then I release it and people will say, oh, what a nice song, and move on. Like I was questioning everything because of one or two occurrences that have snowballed into something big. But the reminder that God is still with me, hasn't forsaken me. He's not surprised by a pandemic, and he being fully God and fully man is able to empathize with what I'm going through because he's the great high priest. Those things are encouragement to me, that sometimes we think that God has forsaken me. Yeah. And going back to the understanding of the gospel is because we believe that since we are Christians, everything should go smoothly for us, and that's not what scripture says. So if you're watching and you are like me, I encourage you to read your word. The truth of the word doesn't change in whatever moments that we go through. And he will hold you, he'll make a way. And I do pray that he does for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, because I know there are so many people who are going through that quietly and feeling like they're alone.
Yeah.
But there's so many people who are going through it.
Especially guys who are perceived leaders like myself, or an artist, or it's difficult for...
Faces, I call them faces. People whose faces we see.
You feel like it's a weakness if you say something like that. No, but I hope someone is encouraged by me saying that.
That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Tell us about your musical profile. How many albums do you have? How many singles do you have, or have you lost count?
Well, I haven't been making music for that long. Well, maybe 7-8 years now, since my first release project. But I have a project in 2013 called My Kind of Music. That was 8 tracks. And then 2017 I released an album called The Bridge. It was 10 tracks. 2018 I released a joint EP. An EP is just a short album, mini album, 5 songs with Riga. It's called Undugu. And 2019 I released the Love Sessions EP, which was a 6-track EP. This year I'm working on a full-length 11-track album. It's called City on a Hill, and it should be out pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had some audios whose videos you've not done.
Yes.
Are they in that album that you want to release, or I think they're in the EP?
Yeah, probably. Because for the album that I'm working on now, I've released You Are, which was the first single, and there are a bunch of singles coming out with videos as well in the next couple of weeks. So I guess the ones that you've probably heard are from those projects that I mentioned. Yeah,
probably. Which is your favorite song? Current.
My current favorite. Do I have a favorite song really?
That you've released.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this off air. I think it depends on how I'm feeling or what I'm going through.
So depending on how you're feeling, I feel like I have to just really box musicians so that they can give me an answer. Okay.
No, that's a tough question. I like all the songs equally.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe, but okay, that's what.
No, but currently there's a song I released that didn't have a video, but it's from my 2017 album. It's called The Bridge. The song is called I Will Wait.
Okay.
So
we'll check it out.
Check it out and see what I like about it.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time.
Could you please, there's a song you've done called Feel Me. Could you touch it for us a bit?
Feel Me. You want me to sing it or to?
Sing.
Wow, I should have brought my baby. You know, my guitar is called Fiona.
Next time, Fiona.